Okay, I think we are live. Hello, ladies. Thanks for joining. I got a little bit of a camera situation here. Uh, hang on. Hang on. Hold on to your seatbelts here for a minute. I'm going to have to try to wiggle this camera a little bit. The time got away from me this morning. And, well, that's not bad. Dave is putting a TV in for me down here, and he boxed in one of our support columns in the basement with 12 by 2s to make a wood column that I painted. You probably saw some of that. Anyway, that made the space different for my table that bumps behind this one, so I'm all rejigged here by about a foot, and my camera mount in the ceiling is not quite lined up right, which he has to change, but I am going to go with that for now. So anyway, thank you guys for joining, and happy Mother's Day to those of you who are mothers. I thought I would do a collage today and cut them up into ATCs because I am running low on my cards. My new stamps have been selling pretty nice. Thank you guys for those who supported it. And but I need to replenish my little mini card stock I put in there for a thank you when I when I send those out. So that's what I thought I'd do. And I was rummaging through some bits in my cool color drawer, and I started to do something with this paper not long ago, and this always speaks to me, so I'm going to base it around this. That's what I'm going to pick my pictures, my papers for. So I pulled out some painted papers, and when I got down to the pile where I saw these painted deli papers, I need to do more of these. That's going to be my next dream, is to replenish my stock of those in all kind of colors. So I pulled out just different bits that are purple and turquoise. I know that's a shocker for my color choices. This is a piece of marbling paper that Jane Morrison, who is Lucy Jane on chat, she brought some of her marbled papers. This is gorgeous. And gave them to us in Maryland last year. So I'm going to try to incorporate that. And this was the piece of drop paper that was under that inky canvas I did with the hot glue. That's the one that's going to be in Jody Old's book, by the way. So I thought I would try to make use of a little bit of this. Now, a lot of this might be water soluble and move, so I don't know how that's going to work. But anyway, whew, I feel like I'm running like a crazy person trying to get this done. It's been nuts today. When I wrap this up, I got to head over to my mom's for Mother's Day. So let me see who all's here. Geez, who is? Judy, Willina, Rain, Nancy, Orla, Mickey, Kia. And I don't know who I missed that was here earlier. Hang on. Joan, Jennifer. Hello guys, thanks for joining. And sorry I haven't been around on a regular basis. It's been a crazy time of year for us. I've had to travel for work. Dave had to travel for work. We had my brother's charity golf tournament that Dave plays in, and I help him manage. It's just been a little nuts. So, try to get back in the swing of things, so I thought I'd squeeze in a Mother's Day one before and it's so pretty here. It's rained for like 10 days. I told Dave we're going to have to start building an ark. But, yeah, it's been a little crazy. I stamped this morning, so I had some black bits to collage in there. So, I'm going to daddy van this real quick. And then we'll get started. This is the new tissue that I learned of from Jan Terry, J-Cats on chat. It's Dixie wrap, and she got it from Sam's, and it's cheaper than the one I was using, and it's thinner in texture, and it takes daddy vans even better than the one that I was using. But you have to, the trick is you have to daddy van both sides of this. So let me show you what's happening here. You guys probably have seen this before, but so here's what it looks like when it's just out of the box. But you see that kind of heathered look to it? It's some kind of fibrous thing in there, but it's very fine, very lightweight. But then when you put Daddy Vans on it on one side, it looks like this. But see how you can still see that heathered, those heathered bits in there? Kind of looks like I have a rash, other than my age spots. Hey, Helena. Hey, Denise. Thanks for joining. But watch what happens then when I do the back side of this as well. And I'll do half of it. Try to let you see the difference. It's subtle. So here it is now on the top tips of my fingers, right? And down further on my hand. Can you see the difference on this camera with the spot still? It's almost transparent when you get it on both sides of it. Oh, I know, Orla, with you guys having the fires in Canada, that's terrible. We've been watching that on the news. That's scary. Hey, Safia. So I'm just going to Daddy Van this real quick and set it off to the side until I get to the point that I need it. This goes pretty fast, actually. Oh, you know what I wanted to do? I just thought about it. I was looking at this stamp here and thinking, didn't I use that recently? Yes. The last time that I streamed, which I don't know how long that's been, I made some white tiles, polymer clay tiles, using my those new stamps. And I just was thinking about that, and they're still over in the oven. I'm going to go grab those after I get done this, and I'll show you how they came out. This looks really smudgy, but that's the stuff underneath that's on here. Oh, nice, Sophie. I just finished using my stencils on a journal page. Thank you. Hope you liked them. Hey, Carol. Oh, you're having some of the fires locally. Oh my gosh. I'm not afraid of too much, but I do not like fire at all. All right, I'm going to set this aside. You don't need to let it dry really, but I'll let that absorb more before I use it. And put that away. I'm going to get rid of this oily mess here. Oh, wow. Yeah, those fires are just so devastating. I'm going to go grab those tiles real quick. Okay. I think the next time I stream, I'm going to make that half round frame into some kind of tile thing. But here's the black and white tiles that I did the last time. These are all my stamps, but this design here, this was in one of the stamps that Joan just gave me that are Finnabair stamps. So that's some more black and white tiles. I'll stick those up in my black and white tile section. And this has some writing on it, but I think we're going to paint right over that and not worry about it. So, I'm going to try something else new too. Oh yes, Sophia, post it on my Inky Obsessions Facebook page if you can. I'm sure you mentioned this before. It depends on the tissue. paper, Safia, whether or not the Daddy Vans works. It'll work on deli if it's not waxed. Some delis work better than others, depending on the consistency and the thickness of it. Tissue paper, I think you could probably use it on just regular gift wrap tissue. I do use the artist, what is it called? Art tissue from Dick Blick. But actually, I think this Dixie wrap works as well as that does. Hey, Bunny. Hey, Kay. Thanks for joining. So I've been following, you remember when Paula did the Elegant Writer demonstration? And she talked about where she saw it on YouTube, and it was an artist named Carlin Holman. Well, a couple weeks ago, I was looking her up and watched that video again, and then started trying to look at more and more of her stuff, and I've become a huge fan. Actually, she teaches mostly in Europe and Australia and all over the place. She lives in the Midwest somewhere, I think, maybe Minnesota, up north. I don't know. Anyway, she travels all over the world teaching, and I happened to look at her class schedule, and she's coming to Fredericksburg, Virginia, where I used to live, about an hour and 45 minutes south of where I am now, next February. So I've signed up for her class. I've been wanting to take a watercolor class, and she is really has some cool techniques with watercolor. So I'm excited about that, but you ought to look her up. But one thing she did on some of her watercolors, she actually did some collage work with them. And she uses Yes paste and puts water in the container and lets it get real soupy. So I'm going to try that today. She said that it dries really clear. And I've added some water in there. See how soupy that is? We'll see how that's going to work. But I'm going to set this off to the side until I get some paint slapped down here. And then we shall begin. Boy, Ray, you're organizing your studio. I really need to get to work down here. It's out of control with stuff I've been collecting for Maryland, and Dave doing the work on that pole and moving everything, and different projects and tools we've had out for stuff we're doing around the house. It is not good. I just this morning unpacked some of my stuff that I had when I went to Jody Old's studio in North Carolina, and that was April 1st when I taught there. So that tells you a little bit about what the state of affairs are here at the parish. We've just been running like crazy people for so long. And it ain't over yet. So I like to just put down paint. On the whole thing. And that way I don't have to worry about what's going to stick out and what's not. That pretty much covered that text that was written on there. That might not have been a great color choice for that paper though, but let's get some of this. Oh no. I want the sky one. Hang on. Boys. I'm telling you, it never fails. When I go to look for paint in this bin, no matter what I look for, is on, there it is, on the bottom. This is one of my favorite colors of paint though. You still haven't unpacked from last year's Maryland trip. Oh, Joan, I can't wait to hear what you got. Let's see, another one of these. Give it a little blend through here. Little ombre blend. And I want to get some purple in here too. It might be too dark. Let's throw a little bit of this down and see what happens. It's Carlyn, Karlyn Holman, Holman. She's really, I mean, she just seems like such a nice, fun person when you listen to her videos. She's very upbeat. And I've been downloading some of her videos on artistnetwork.tv, I think it is. There's a lot of her stuffs out there. And I actually ordered some products from her website, her palette, and loaded with her paints that she uses all the time, and a couple other things. And I got a it was included, I think, in like a starter kit. It was included, one of her DVDs was included. Oh, you have PBO paints over there now. That's great, in Europe. All right, let's just mix it up a little bit like that. And there you have it. So I've got a couple different little gradient mixes at the upper right here and through the center here. And that's all. The lighting might look a little bit different. While Dave was doing this work down here, he had a an electrician put two different sets of lights further away from me, but they really brighten up the whole thing, and I'm hoping it helps with my glare situation. All right, let me get some of these paints out of the way. I'm done with that. It feels good just to be slapping some paint around, even though I'm not doing anything but a background on there. That feels pretty good, actually. I'm gonna hit this with my heat gun. Thanks, Mickey. That's my go-to. Purple and turquoise. Hey, Dixie. Hit this a little bit, dry it. This is watercolor paper. This is, I think it's 11 by 15. Okay. Yeah, 140 pound watercolor paper, 11 by 15. It's just a Strathmore pad. Oh, no, they're not, Rain. Hang on. Thanks for the reminder. Let me open the links for you guys. Hold on. There you go. Okay, links are open. Yep, and black and white on everything. Do you use a third? Do I use a third? I must have missed a comment in there, Mickey. If you're asking me something, I don't know what the context is to that. Do you use a third? Yeah, thanks, Jennifer. There's Carlyn's website address, that link that she just put up there. This is almost dry. Hey, Janet. A third color. Well, there are three colors on here. The turquoise, the sky blue, and the purple that I put over here. Is that what you mean? Do I use three colors? I'm a little dense. I'm out of my my rhythm. Oops, I blew off my Daddy Van bits over here. Let me put these down here so I don't have to chase those again. right. Good enough. Let's get some of this down here. Let's see what that looks like over here. That looks pretty good. All right, I'm going to try this Yes Paste mixture. You know what? It really is pretty easy, Mickey. I mean, I just throw down paint, then I start layering papers, and especially when I know I'm going to cut it up for ATCs, because then I don't need to worry about a focal point, because it's all going to be like Dina Wakley's puke on a page. You just overdo it everywhere, and when you cut it up, you get cool little ATCs. Yeah, this is one of those, crap, what do they call it? The name escapes me, what they call this paper. I know one of you guys will know. Rain, I know you know. And if Jan's on here, she gave me a website. Oh, the name's escaping me. It will come to me. All right, let's try. She used a fan brush when she did this, so that's what we'll do. We'll see how this works. Now, hopefully I don't have too much. I'm going to mix this up a little bit more. It seems a little runnier than what she was using. Oops, there goes a big splot. Let me put my arm in, glue myself to my underpaper. Alright, there you go, mulberry paper. Ha! Thanks, Jennifer. CB! You're alone in the chat room. That's a sad story. Hey, Jean. Alright, let's see how this works. You know, I covered my moleskin planner with one of these mulberry papers with Yes Paste. And I don't know if I just should have roughed up the surface or what the deal was, but that has come off. I've had to re-glue several times, and the last time I just took out a tape gun and just put tape solid on it and tried to stick it down. I will not use this again without somehow kind of roughing up the surface. Now that completely changed the color, and I don't know if that's just because it's wet or what. I mean, it's still pretty, but well, here's the original color, what it looks like without the wetness of the glue. I'm gonna hit this with a glue gun just to see, I mean the heat gun, just to see if it comes back to that lighter state once it's dry. Mine did not when I used it on the planner. Brain lock. You think you were being shunned, CB? Hello, sunset. That's still a little damp. Well, we'll press on. That's not bad, even if it doesn't come back. Oh, let's see. Let's put a little chunkaroo up on the top here. Oops. That must be going against the grain. It doesn't want to tear nicely for me. But that's okay. I like those little raggedy, furry edges. Let's put this up here. Uh-oh, sneezing. Oh, excuse me. Oh, here goes the sneezing fit. The allergies, never have had allergies. Apparently I do now. But man, I tell you what, I've been sneezing my brains out. I actually had to go to the doctor a couple weeks ago and he gave me a nasal spray. And that's really helped, but still have the one that sneaks through every now and then. Thank you. Thanks, Ray. What is that link for there? Gain all-purpose stick flat. What is that? Some kind of a glue? Is it a link for Yes Paste? With a different name, perhaps? I'm anxious to see how this works. She swears by this. And, alright, let's put another, let's get some of the purple in there. Let's go this way. Let's get some of the blue up here instead of putting it on the bottom. Do I want to go on that path right there? Why not? This is really watery. But this is really sticky, sticky glue. I used this in my class when I taught down at Jody's. And, well, it's not just Jody's. I shouldn't say Jody's studio. It's Jan McNichols and Jody Ohl and Jean Skipper. And I used this Yes Paste, and they had never seen it before. And one lady was an art teacher in, I think, elementary school, and just loved it. And was trying to buy. Well, Jan had ordered some for the class to be able to buy there, and she bought some and said she's going to use it in her classes. So I guess it was good to her satisfaction. But it is really sticky. I learned about this from Shannon Green. I never even heard of Yes Paste before. So let's get this one down here. Oop, get over. I want you on the edge. Don't cheat me. Orla, I think I got a couple more boxes from you was it this week? I got some coloring books. And what else did I get? I don't know. I got quite a stash for you. And none of it says who it's from. I'm just assuming this is from you. So if Joan or anybody else sent me anything that I don't know about, we'll just have to have a claims table when we all get to Maryland. And we shall see who it belongs to. Alright, now before I go too far, that looks like it picked up a little. I might have this watered down too much. I'm going to dry this heat gun and see where we are for stickiness. I might have it too watery. Or maybe I just didn't have it glued down good on that edge. But we're going to find out before I get too far with using this. And if so, I'll just switch over to my old faithful matte medium. I know, it still does, doesn't it, Rain? You think of little kids when you say coloring book. And Joan, I got all your stuff I've collected from Michael's that we ordered. So if you gals, I think Orla did order deli, and maybe Joan ordered deli. A couple people ordered deli paper that's over there in the pile too. This color's starting to lighten up over here though as it's drying more from that first piece. You know, I've tried to force myself to get into the coloring book thing, and it's probably because I don't have the time to do it. We had a play date at Queen's Ink a couple months ago now, and I was like too tired and busy to figure out a big project to take. So I just took some colored pencils and a coloring book and did my first page there with some Gamsol. It took me the whole time I was there to do this one page, and I haven't colored another one since. My mom colors every night though. Sorry for all this drying time, guys, but I want to check this out before I get too committed. Oh, you got some free stuff for the tables, Rain? Rain, did you get, who was it? UNCB now, right? Am I right? Yeah, look at the pictures. That's about it. I wish they'd come out with more watercolor. I know there is a Prima watercolor coloring book, but it's mostly like words and stuff, which I don't, it's so weird for watercolor to just have those little areas to color, but what the hell do I know? All right, let's see where we are with this. Okay, great, CB. I think it's holding it pretty good. All right, we shall press on. All right, let me get that out of the way. Joan. Joan said she bought me something at the craft fair. Oh my God. Yeah, don't pay for shipping too, Joan. You are too sweet. Thank you so much. But yeah, just if you can pack it, I don't want you to have to pay for shipping too. Yeah, you got to watch CB at the bar. You don't want to be stiffing him out of some money. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. This one's got more dark purples in there. Let's try a little bit of that right there. Seems like a reasonable thing to do. Cover up a little bit of that text that's Peeking through the paint now. I really liked making those painted deli papers, and I used to do a lot of those, and I must make more. Yeah, it really is matte. You can't even, well, I guess I can see, if I really look, can see a little bit of a sheen next to the outside of here where it was bigger than the piece I put down. It's hard, you got to look for it. It's hard to see. I don't know if you can, I just see a little thin area right here where it stopped, but it is pretty transparent. I don't know if that, hard to see. It's hard for me to see here, so I doubt you can see it, but it is, I think it's less apparent than matte medium, to tell you the truth. Let's put that there. Goes down easier than matte medium because it's so much thinner. It's like water pretty much, with a little bit of glue in it. Maybe I ought to mix a little bit more of this glue in with the water. Perhaps that's what I'll do. What color paper is that you're using, Patty? Well, if you mean this one, it's deli that I painted. If you mean this one, let me see if I have a label on a piece that I have in the drawer. Hang on. It's a mulberry paper. Oh no, these aren't labeled. Nope, it's not labeled. But if you go to that site that Jennifer put up earlier, that mulberry paper website, you'll see it. It'll be definite. You'll know which one you're looking at when you see it. So what I'm looking at when I'm doing this is I pretty much know that I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 cards wide and a little edge over here. So I want stuff like this card's going to have some of each of that in it, right? And that's what I'm trying to eyeball to make sure the cards, I don't want to put this where it falls and covers up one whole card, like right there, right? I want to move it so that it's split between a couple different cards. And if I put it up here, it'll hit the 2 bottom ones and up here. So this will be used in 4 different cards. Maybe that's what I'll do with that little piece right there. I'm going to start blotting some of this extra up just so it dries quicker. Doesn't look like much yet. Hey, Trina. Thanks, Joan. Yeah, there it is. mulberrypaperandmore.com. mulberrypaperandmore.com. All right, let's see what else we got here. This is just a piece of brayered off stuff. Hang on. Hold that thought. Oh, yeah. See, this is what I mean by puke on a page. You see that? That looks like a bunch. It's kind of pretty because of the colors, right? But it's nothing. It's just like a bunch of junk. However, if you take that bunch of junk and you come in here get rid of some of this bland edge there. And you come in here and you just grab a little hunk of that junk. Then look how cool that little bit is, especially if it's on, you know, something stark. Right? So that's the puke on the page thing that Dina Wakley talks about. All right, so let's grab some puke. That's pretty puke. Oops. All right. Here, hid my scissors from myself again. Give me a flat edge to get up against. And let's try. You know, I really like where this corally pink is in here with this. Let me get down here. You got to cut off enough so we can get a bite on your punch. Anonymous! Hello, Anonymous. You are anonymous. I don't know that I'll use all these, but while I'm cutting, I might as well cut them up. Oops. Trying to get away from me. Alright, so now instead of that one, get out of there, kind of icky pukey sheet, we get all this. Alright, so you get all those little bits. They're not glued down, so I'm going to have a hard time getting them tilted so you see the sheen on there. There's a little bit of it popping up. But you get all those. Okay, so let's throw a couple of those bad boys in here. Who is it that came in with the anonymous name? Hey, Kate. Oh, congratulations. Happy Mother's Day. All right, I got this little extra bit on here because this paper was just bond paper. So it doesn't punch really great. Should have put a piece of cardstock behind it, but I didn't. But this is good. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Let's throw some of these bits in. I love this one. Look at that, how pretty that is. There it is. I love you. Where are you going to go? Let's see. That feels about right for some reason. I don't know why. We're going to put you right there, little one. And something with purple, turquoise, maybe. Oh, here's another good one. Let's do something like that too. Hang one off the end. Let's do a half. Let's do a halvesy. Put one of those there. Alright, let's get these down and see what we got. There's so much paint on here, this paper feels thicker than bond paper. This one, I love this one. Whoop. Get over there. Do I want to overlap that where that ended up? Let's put you right about there. I'm talking to the pieces now. That's not good. Alright, and this little half guy down here, let's put you right there. Then you'll get on two different pieces. And they'll have a little piece of pie wedge in the middle there. Alright, put these away for another day in my blue drawer, or my cold color drawer I should say. Alright, so that's how it's coming together. What else do I have out here? Oh, my marble papers I wanted to put in. CB and Rain and whoever else, Jean, from last year. You guys will recognize these from Jane, right? So I want to put a little bit of this down. Where am I going to put you? This is like precious. I don't want to. Maybe I'll go this way. Yeah, this way's better. Maybe I'll just do little strips and see where I can. Maybe this is too busy to use these. I don't want to put these somewhere where they're going to be lost. I want them to be more prominent, and I don't think. You know what? I'm gonna, since I cut this one, I'm gonna put this one right here. But it's getting a little. I think this one's getting away from me a little bit. Maybe I've lost my touch. That is so pretty. I think Jane, I hope she is, going to bring her marbling stuff to Maryland this summer and give us a little demo. I'm going to put the rest of this back in the drawer and make a project around that. I don't even know if I need any of this now. It's kind of, it's getting kind of covered up there with stuff. I might save this too for another day. Could have said a rainy day last week. Sweet mama. Remember, Patty, it's just the first. Yes, it is just the first layer. We haven't seen her around lately except sharing her painting on Facebook. Everything is like, oh, I'll have to check in with her. I've been so busy, I don't know who I've lost track of. I wonder what this would look like. This was the bamboo stencil done with I don't remember what that was. An interference color of some sort. I wonder if I leave a little border of black on here. Let's see what happens here. Kind of cool. It's getting a little busy, but see, this doesn't look like it's sticking there. Come on now. Don't be lifting up on me. We've had this discussion. I'm trying out a new glue today instead of my matte medium. And this is Yes Paste watered down that I saw an artist named Carlin Holman using on her collages. I don't know if I have just the right ratio of water to glue though. I just added some water in my jar here. I'm going to try to mix some more of this glue in. Give me a little bit thicker substance here. Alright, let's make that a little gluier instead of soupier. Alright, let's see how that works. Alright, where was I? Where was I? Let's see. I might be getting a little cray-cray with this. Yep, but still not sticking on this paper. Wonder if it's because it's painted on the back. It doesn't seem right. Oh well, we'll see. We'll figure it out. Yeah, I thought I had it for the consistency about that I saw her using it, but she had a much shallower jar of it. This was kind of a fuller jar. And let me see if I can get some of this washed down into the mix. And it was very watery that she was using. This jar lid was on so hard, I soaked it in a tub of hot water and thinking I'd never get it open again, and it opened right up. But it was on there. I was banging the crap out of it. Alright, we'll see what that happens. What happens with that there. And we'll live with it. Let's just do something like this. More glue and less thinking. Get a little pop of black in there with this. That's still not sticking. Now you're starting to tick me off. Don't tick me off. Maybe I ought to put that, overlap that a little bit and help that hold down. Just a little bit. All right. And we're going to put something like this over here. Look at that. This works great when I use it on my journals that I make, cover it in fabric. Huh. Don't know. That one got cut a little close. Oh, that's just black. Let's do that. Get on there, you little rascal. All right. So they had a little bit of something. All right, I'm going to hit this with the heat gun and recheck these for stickiness and go back with matte medium if it's not cooperating with me. Yeah, CB, I'm trying this Yes Paste watered down. I saw that artist I was talking about, Carlin Holman. She's the one that Paula saw doing the Elegant Writer demo. And so I thought I'd try it. It appears so far that the only thing that's not sticking are those circles I punched. And both sides of that page were painted, and I don't know if it's just the paint on paint's not acting properly, because the rest of it seems to be sticking okay. And we'll see. And this marble paper's coming up a little bit on the side. So again, remember, there's no focal point here. It's just a hodgepodge of colors and shapes that I think might work. And they're going to be cut up to ATCs at some point in their short lifespan. Get rid of some of this. All right, let's see what the deal is here. Are you sticking any better? It seems a little, well, that, okay. You know what? Now you're just pissing me off. Oops, did I say that out loud? I don't care. My channel, I'll say pissed off if I want. Okay, let's try this. I just hope something makes them stick. Yeah, it must have something to do with, I hope mixing these two will not cause any stickage problems. Look at that, comes right up. You little rascal. Yeah, might as well fix you too. Very strange. Indeed. All right. Let's see what happens there. My hands are all gluey. All right. Okay, let's get some little Pop O in there, shall we? Now, see, I had this, but it's getting too busy. This was, hey, I was in a hop with Shannon. It's been months ago now. And I did the jelly printed labels that I did on little note cards, if you guys remember seeing that. And I did jelly prints on labels that are cut in strips, right, like this. Isn't that clever? Except for my dumb ass printed on the wrong side. This is the sticky side. Woo! So now I got to peel these off and glue them. Actually, that would be kind of cool in there, wouldn't it? Oh, no. Too much. Getting too busy. Okay. Back to center, Patty. Back to center. And I had this little piece I was going to put out. This was one of my collages. Yeah. That I have upstairs that I scanned and printed and cut up to use different bits of it because I liked it so much. All right. So let's get some pictograph action going here. Shall we? Little pop O. Black. Never hurt anybody. So I stamped this with archival ink on the Dixie wrap deli paper that you get at Sam's Club online. And then I Daddy Van both sides. And it makes it pretty much translucent. And will just melt right into your collages. So a lot of people say, well, why don't you just stamp on the collage? There's so much texture and lumpiness and layers on here, you never get a clear stamped image. But if you stamp on tissue and glue it down, it'll just take the shape of whatever's under it and look like a very clean image. Oops, cut the leg off. Cut your leg off, little fella. Sorry. Alright. And I like to cut off as much of the excess as I can, even though you don't see it. It's, you know, less layers. It's easier to manage, I think. But that's just me. Alrighty. Couple more ought to do it. Alright. And I did some of the other stamps. Maybe a little pop of this here and there. We'll see. I'm not going to cut those out smaller until I know I'm going to use them. Alright, let me get rid of some of this excess crumbs here. And I need to get some black and white in there. Here. Joan sent me a ton of die cuts, and some of them were on a black and white piece of paper. So I wonder if I could work any of these in, or if the shapes, maybe if I cut this like this instead of a long strip, I could work them in here and there. I kind of got my ends chewed up though. I don't know if that's going to work on here. See, that might be getting a little too cray-cray. Oh, I should have started with these. Silly girl. All right, let's see what we got in here. I need to go to some circles, I think. Where's my paper cutter? Oh, I wonder. Hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on. I wonder if I can get a couple of these laid in there. Hey, Tam. These are really fun. I don't know what dye that's from, but look how cool that is. I think for sure we can overlay some of these in here. Hoping I can get them to stick properly. Oh, there's different shapes. There's circles and this oblong. Oblong one has hearts in it. These are really cool, Joan. Let's do something like that there. I love these. Get some white going in there. It looks like I'm putting too much down. Again, I'm not looking at a focal point. I'm just looking to try to figure out, you know, what cards this is going to the cards are only going to get a piece of that. And I have black ones too, but let me see how these glue. And I'm going to use matte medium for these. Oops. Get off of there. They should be. I didn't turn them off. Hang on. Let me check the links for you guys. Let's see. They are off. How did they go off? Thanks, Jean, for letting me know. All right. Let's try matte medium. All right, let me see if I can get these to stick now. That's my only issue, is can I get them to stick? Get them really gooped up pretty good. These are awesome. Try to figure out where this circle's going to be here. I don't put too much matte medium down. Yeah, look at you. These are awesome, Joan. Thank you so much. I love circles, but these wonky ones like this with the little circles like in orbit around there and the oblong with the hearts, these are really nice. You know, I think going forward, I think I'm going to go back to my matte medium. I don't know. I think the Yes Paste worked pretty good though. We'll see. Let me, before I get too judgmental, let me see how it shakes out here. Oh, Jean, Joan, that would be awesome. I love these. I mean, these are one of my favorites. I was thinking about, I never do die cuts myself, and I was thinking about actually buying, I saw Zandra using it. It's a Seth Apter with like the coffee drips and stuff. I love that die. Almost enough to make me buy one. I've actually had it in my cart before and then decided not to spend the money, but it could happen. Yeah, these are great for my little pop of white and black. I love this. How fun is that? Oops, I got all kind of glue boogers on my fingers. Can't get that piece of deli off of me. Get off. Look at that against that dark there. I love you. Yep. Yes, look at you. That really brightens it up, doesn't it? Hey, Dorothy. That's really cool. I love that. Let's see if I can find any this might be a cool little pop of black to put down. Look at these. If I can get them apart with my glued up fumbly fingers. Look at that. I'm going to use some of these too. Hey, hon. Hear my husband down the basement. Wow. I don't know what I did here to get these so tangled. Sheesh. Ah! Almost had it free. Got it snagged there again. Yikes. Let's see. Where can I put this? See, then this will show on so many cards as it goes up the line here. Thanks, Tam. Let's try that. Here comes the babies down to follow their daddy. Hey, Mojo. Where's Sissy? Where you at, baby? Ah, these are delicate. I'm not much of a delicate person, for those of you who know me. All right. This is going to be cool. I want to make sure these really get glued down where this is overlapping these white ones. Hey, Mojo. What you doing, pretty boy? Ooh, look at that. Huh? Oh, Dave said, let me see. He thought I was talking to him. Yeah. It's going to get cut up into little cards. Mm-hmm. It's not all one thing. Mm-hmm. One piece. Right. All right, let's see. What can I do with this one? Where are you going to make the biggest impact, my little curly-cued friend? There, the lighter. wonder if I went diagonal and it hit different cards in different ways. Uh-oh. Huh. Where am I going to put this? That's kind of a cool path that's gone right there. Let's try that.
Ground's still a little wet.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Grass is a little dry, but the ground's still soggy.
Yeah.
Cut it
Well,
tomorrow.
yeah, I was going to say we can do it tomorrow after work.
What time did you want to go to your mother?
Well, I'm going to stream until 3, probably, and then jump in the shower and we'll go right after that. Go around her dinner time, her early bird special dinner time.
Early bird special?
Yeah. You know, she can't be eaten after 5:30. Alright, where did I have that now? I was trying to get it on this light colored paint down here. Hey Pam, you like that purple and turquoise? I know you do. Hey Leslie. I'm making a collage that I'm going to cut down into ATCs. I'm running low on ATCs that I include in my Etsy orders, so I like to have a stash of those. I think I'm going to put one more down this side somehow, so that this whole batch has a little slice of this heavenly scroll. Oh man, I'm telling you, this is some delicate stuff going on here. Alright. Well, which one's more free? Been raining so much. He was just going to try to cut the grass. Said the ground was still wet. It's no wonder. We've had rain for like 10 days. And although not pleasant, it hasn't been horrible. I mean, you know, so many places are so worse off with weather and stuff going on with the fires in Canada and the floods in Texas and all that stuff. You can't really complain. But I had a Cinco de Mayo party here for some of my work friends after work on Thursday, and it held off, but we were all sitting out on the deck having some fun, and Dave even put up an umbrella over the grills so he could be on the deck cooking in case it rained, and it did, but towards the end of the evening, so it wasn't bad. Alright, where are you going to go, you little rascal? Go down this side here over this purple. I got kind of bent up. This might be trickier to get down here. Hey Bear, thanks for joining. I felt bad for being off stream for so long, but woo, it's only so many hours in a day. It's been crazy. This damn thing they call a job's getting in the way of my social life. But I like my job, I must say. So, since I have to work, it's good I like it. Try to get this on that lighter bits of paint there. All right. So there's where we are with that. Oh, thanks, Jean. I know, I miss it too, honestly. But, you know, have to pay those darn bills and buy food. All right, let's get a little pictograph action in here. I did a collage not too long ago, and I thought something just, I liked it, but it was like, it looked off. I thought, I don't have any pictographs in there. Thanks, Anonymous. Did we ever figure out who you are, Anonymous? I mean, I know you know who you are, but do we know who you are yet? I don't know why you're coming up anonymous. This way. Talking to myself now. That's not good. Wow, I don't have much room to put these, do I? They're going in there, though, somewhere. Oh, yes, you are. You are, too. What is your name? That's really weird. It's showing up in the show social stream, but not here. Very strange. We're going to put you, little one. Let's go right over top of this. Oh, okay, Shauna. Oh, that's so strange. Now see how these go down? You can't even see that paper that they're on with the Daddy Vans on it, that tissue. Not tissue, but the deli. Can't see it. Here's a little slice. We'll put you one right there. And this is so thin, I don't even bother to put the glue on the back of the pictograph. I should have put them down before I put the die cut so they'd have been under that more. But that's okay. Let's put it over top of one right there and see how that lays. Oop. Get away from me there. Now that looks like two of those right there together, but they're going to come out on different cards, so I'm okay with that. All right, let's see. All right. Let me have another. This is kind of bland right there. We'll put one right there. It really does just go away in there. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have stamped some with copper and put down to bring that copper paint out. Well, now's a fine time to think about it. Where are you gonna go, little rascal? That's kind of boring right in there. Huh. Let's do that. Alright, and let's do a little something up in here. Now one of these edges, either the edge on this side or the edge on this side, is going to get left off when I cut these. But I don't know which one, so I like to just still decorate everything. Just in case. Ah. Wrinkled on me, you little rascal. Hang on. Well, my fingers are so gluey that I can't let stuff go. Get off of me. It's stuck to this finger. You little rascal. Alright, it's going to go over the black and over the top, and that's just going to have to be okay. Alright, let me see, where are we? What do we need in here? Alright, let me get my hands a little wiped off here. Patty, I hope you don't mind, but I did my first video on YouTube the other day. And well, your name is part of the inspiration. Oh, thanks! Absolutely not. Just put your link up so we can find your video and watch it. We love videos. Alright, so while my brain's thinking about what else I want to do, I am going to pull out the heat gun. I use on the polymer clay tiles when they're done. Somebody's asking me a question about what I seal them with. I use the Sculpey matte sealer. Oh, have fun, Kate. That's a nice Mother's Day break for you. Get to go art. Alright, I got a thought about what I might do here. I have a thought. Let's see. I need my little pouncy tools. I want this size. Oh, and maybe I'll try that, see what happens. Get a paper palette out here. Hopefully I'm not setting anything on fire while I'm not looking at what I'm heating. I'm going to put this in water for a minute. Clear off a little bit of elbow room. And I'm going to grab some copper paint. This is just Golden's iridescent copper light fine. All right. They do really stand out, don't they, Joan? Thank you so much. Patty, what do you put on the back when you make, what do you put on the back when you make your ATCs? Nothing. Whatever splotches are on there is what's on there. I don't do anything to the back. I sign them when I put them in with my Etsy orders. I put a little note on them and sign them, but I don't, nothing goes on the back. All right. They're having a sale on Golden. What is the sale, Pam? Do you know off the top of your head? I know their Golden paints are usually 40% off what you'd find them in retail. Is it more than that right now? And I'm just using a little spouncer with some copper paint, and I want to pull some more of this copper that's in that paper I first put down. Hey, Beth. And wherever I think it needs a little something, we're going to put some little dots of copper, right? Like that. Just here and there. And let's see. I like odd numbers, so I'm popping them in threes there, but that's not what I'm going to do everywhere. And I might put them here since I have a different shape here. Put them like in a little triangular kind of deal there. Let me turn this so I can get up here some. And let's just do something like this here. 1, 2, 3. And let's do... It's really nice out here, but I can hear the wind howling, which never bodes well for our gate. Oh, thanks, guys. Yeah, I wanted to pull more of that copper in. Instead of, you know how I usually use my mason jar lid and make big circles over it? Well, I thought that would be kind of hard to get a decent imprint with the layers of these die cuts now. Some of them are too thick, plus they're over top of a paper. So I thought I'd bring in more metallic like this instead, and then maybe stripe it with some of my 3D stuff later. Beth, the copper is Golden's fluid acrylic. Iridescent copper light fine. It's really a pretty color. This is the color that I mixed. 30% off the usual price if you spend 30% off the 40 already marked down price. Oh, I'm gonna have to go look at that. That's crazy. Crazy talk. And then I kind of like get it away from me and like blur my eyes a little bit. I know that sounds crazy, but if you do that, you can really see like where the holes are that I didn't do much copper. Not that it has to be, it's not one composition, right? It's just what it is. And just to use up this paint. I'll pop a couple right down here. 1, 2, maybe do that one over here to be different. Okay, so that's kind of where I'm ending up. What is being used to pounce on? They're called spouncers. They're just little sponge shapes on a wooden tip. You can get them at Michael's or anywhere. One of the brand names is Spouncer, and Martha Stewart makes some, and they're pretty common if you look in the art departments of the art stores like that. Let's see. I'll just break up a little something here with one here, maybe one out here, something up there to brighten up that corner. Oops, I stuck my thumb in that. Now I'm just looking where it might need just like one little pop. And I don't want to overdo it, which I have the tendency to do, as most of you probably know. Back away from the spouncer. All right, backing away. Okay, now what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Okay, when in doubt, heat gun. These are going to come out like they're textured little dots because that sponge on that particular spouncer makes it kind of bubbly. Oh, thanks, Bear. I think I need some more white, but I'm going to put the white streaky stuff on it afterwards. So I think I know what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm gonna actually bring back this, take a little more copper, and we're gonna do some splots of copper over top of this whole deal. Let me get my brush wet a little bit. There we go. Splotting away. It's going to be all over my computer screen and all over everything, but I don't care. It'll tie the whole thing together even though I'm cutting it up. This is hard to stop doing too, because like one more right there, one more right there. Stop! Back away! Okay, so there's some splottage, right? Dry that up a little bit. And I think what I'm going to do is get this dry enough that I can cut it up and then show you what it's going to look like. I'll drizzle that 3D paint on here. Yeah, my magic wand. Whew. I'll cut it up and then drizzle those tulip 3D paints that I like to drizzle on here. After it's cut up, I'll cut it up and then I'll edge it with the black so you can see that whole process that I do when I do this. And then we won't have to wait because they take hours for that stuff to dry. So if I put it on the whole piece now, which I usually do, I'd let it sit overnight and not cut it up and edge it until tomorrow. But I'm going to try to do this in one whole stream here to show you the whole process. I really want to get this dry before I cut it. That glue from doing the S paste seems to be holding okay. I just didn't do these circles. And I think that was because it was painted on both sides and going against paint, I think. I don't know. There wasn't much tooth to it. It was real slick. I'm anxious to see how this is going to cut up with these multiple layers of die cuts on top of other layers and the watercolor paper. I hope it's busy enough that I have enough stuff in each little area. We'll see. But look at this little circle right here that I cut out of that puke on a page piece. Look how that little rascal's holding its own. And all that mess. And it was just a scrap. Alright, I think that's pretty good. Let that cool down and then feel it to see if it's got any coolness to it. That usually means it's still damp. It's still warm from the heat gun. Huh. Lyciana? I'm not sure how to say your name. I'm not sure about the Kindle thing, but I know different mobile devices have different capabilities. Okay. Well, I think that's pretty good. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put this aside. And cap off all my mediums here. Put away my watery yes paste. Oh, jeez Louise. Telling you. Dangerous. I'm going to put you up there for now. I'm going to get rid of this glued up mess here. Get a little bit cleaner background so you can see what I'm doing. Alright, where's my handy dandy paper cutter? Oh. Oh, I got it. Whew. Still not unpacked from North Carolina, and I forgot I had it over here on this table instead of in my little spot it usually sits. Okay. Okay, I'm going to cut it even though it's not really finished. And ATCs are 2.5 by 3.5. This is 11 by 15. So Jean, don't panic and think I'm cutting it the wrong way again. I think I got her for this size. So what I do is I start at what I think is the top, which really doesn't matter because it's, you know, can be anywhere. But I did orient my pictographs vertically. So this is my top. So I'm going to cut off the first 3.5 inch slice across here, right? Oops, give myself some elbow room here. You know what's really strange? You guys are talking about notifications that you get and don't get. I have, in the last probably 8 or 9 months, in that time frame, no longer get notifications when somebody posts a comment on one of my YouTube videos. I used to get notifications every time, and I would answer and respond to every person who made a comment. You know, I just think I should. If they've taken the time to leave a comment, I should respond and say thank you or whatever. Even to the snotty ones, which are only a few, but they're there. But I don't get notifications anymore. And I've gone in, I've checked the settings, I've done everything. I'm going to see if there's a number I can call maybe. I don't think there is one. But I no longer get notifications. So if you've made a comment on YouTube and I haven't answered you, that's why. And I have probably, I don't know, maybe 150 videos out there. You know, I'd have to go look at all 150 pages to see if there's any new comments. So it's really a pain. Nancy, I'm going to use it after I cut it up because that stuff would take overnight for it to dry. So I want to try to show you the process before the rest of the process. Then I'll go back and I'll add that at the end. All right, so we're 3.5 inches long, right? And there's my first slice. So then I kind of look at this side at 2.5 inches, which is right there. Do I like that card better than I'd like that card? Because one of these I'm going to lose a little edge on. Or I could lose it somewhere in the middle. Let's do that. Let's try cutting them up. So now I'm going to go 2.5 wide, right? And I got half the pictographs, but that's a little bit of black on there. Gives it a little bit of interest on the edge. And then here, if I really like this one, which I do, I'm going to go 2.5 and save this purple edge over here, right? And save that one. So see what I mean? They look like a little work of art in their own once you start puking them on a page. Patty, do anything on the back? Nope. The back is what it is. That's all. I sign it and put a note on it on the back. I don't do anything on the back. Did you just buy this cutter yesterday? I do have Google Plus. And I know so little about it that maybe that's my issue. Ooh. I like that little orbity looking thing there. Do I want that? Or do I want this? Messages do come on through Google Plus. I'll have to check that, Kim. Thanks. But I've never changed that setting. And I used to get them all the time. I'd get, you know, so many in a day that I'd have trouble answering them. And now I don't get any notifications. And there are comments there when I go back and have the time to look. Oh, cool. Thanks, Nancy. You got one of my cards with your order. Huh, I'll have to check out Google Plus. See if I can figure out anything there, because it is kind of annoying. You know, I really like that little, but I love my pictographs. But, you know, somebody's got to snuff it. So I think this time we're going to sacrifice the pictographs for this little planetary looking action there. But now here's this little bit that, you know, it's there. Okay, so now my next 3.5 inch slice for the next row. Right. It's right there. I really like this. 2.5. See where you just get the little bits of this circle and that circle in there? Half a pictograph, or that little bit of that circle. But, you know, when you get it off to itself, it looks kind of cool. Kind of cool, kind of cool. Let's see, what do I want here? Now, what do I want to lose? Okay, so see, this is a lot more interesting than this piece is. So I'm going to sacrifice this side over here and keep those bits together. Right, and that's all I lost off of that one. So you can make those decisions as you go on which, you know, what better suits your eye that you like, and sacrifice the other bits, which somebody will use it someday, I'm sure. And see, here's another little piece of that circle that I really like that I punched out, just on that little bit up there. All right, let's see, what do we got going here? And this one, I'm probably going to sacrifice that end over there. Oops, wrong way. There we go. Got that one. Yeah, I do. I either, I do use them on Collage, or sometimes just add them into somebody else's order. So now I have to make a decision. I'm going to lose a long strip this way, because this is longer than 3.5, right? So would I want to lose this little bit that's got the copper circles on it, or this little bit? This has a lot more interest in it, so I'm going to sacrifice this end. But when you get that off to itself, you know, it's kind of cute little bookmarky looking long piece. So, you know, again, it's not really lost. So here's my 2.5 cuts. Here, here, here. Now what do I want to lose here? I really like this bit of this circle in here and this white. I think again I might have to lose some pictographs. Sorry, Punny. Sorry, little pictograph. Okay, so now, and I usually do this part at the very end, but I'm going to do it now because I want to get the 3D paint on all this on camera. So we'll just, I'm going to use this Molotow paint marker, and it's the 15mm nib, the wide one. And I use the edge of it to ink stuff up. So you see how this looks now, right? I don't know which way it goes, doesn't really matter. Right? It looks like this. But when you add this little frame on it, it kind of makes it pop a little. Right? Another little pop of black in there. Oh, the editing of videos, they're talking about hating the editing process. It's a pain. It takes so long, especially when you do longer videos like mine. I had somebody write to me very nicely and requested that I go through my stream videos and edit those down so it gets rid of all the background chatting that doesn't mean anything to anybody that's not part of the chatting when it happens, and any other fluff, and get it narrowed down to my just strictly the art bits. And although I can appreciate why they would want to do that, there's no way in hell's half acre I'm ever going to do that. It's a 3-hour video when I'm on here. I'd have to download it first, which would take hours, and then I would have to take God knows how long to edit it, probably another day of my time, and it would probably have to process a day and overnight to get a 3-hour video up on YouTube. It's just, I can't do it. I don't have the time. And a lot of people, I have people with the other opinion where they like to see all the blood and guts that happens to make this happen. They don't want it edited so they only see the perfect parts that come out at the end. They want to see, you know, if I make a mistake, what do I do? How do I fix it? And, you know, a lot of people are intimidated thinking, oh, if they make a mistake, they're no good. Everybody makes mistakes. Even the artists that put perfect videos out there, trust me, they're getting screwed up somewhere. They're just cutting it down to condense it, which is fine if you have the time and the desire to do that. I like to show my real life process. Blooper reel and all. And I wouldn't have the time to do otherwise. So, you know, it is what it is. You get what you get when you're here. And that's the best I can do. Yeah, right, CP, when they pay me for my time, edit away. Yeah, man, you got that right. I don't even know if I'd do it then. They'd have to pay me a lot. That's a pain in the neck. It is a painful, long process to do it. Maybe it wouldn't be so difficult if I did it more often, but maybe if I live long enough to retire, perhaps. Yeah, I mean, you know, people are of different mindsets that, you know, they want... I had somebody write to me a comment on one of my videos one time. And I forget how she worded it. But I thought, oh my God, are you kidding me? Saying that I was... my long videos are not helping her achieve her artistic... How did she say that? Not her goals. But it was, I was impeding her learning process because of my videos. Sorry, honey. This is what it is. There's a lot of other channels out there that cut them down for you, but not here. So sorry. What are you going to do? Hi, Patty. I was asked to do that nicely and suggested that they fast forward. Yeah, I mentioned that too in my reply. And actually, she was very nice, so I did take the time. She emailed me. And I did take the time to email her and explain why I can't do that, that it's just so many hours. And it's funny that most of the people that have a complaint and are nasty about it, they've never done a video. You look at their channel and there are no videos out there. So they don't have a clue what goes into it. And you know what? It's free. Flip the frickin' station if you don't like it, you know? I mean, but again, that's just me. Can't please them all. I'll probably get a nasty note from anybody watching on YouTube about those comments, but oh well. I find those entertaining. Okay. There we go, almost done. Hey, Ella. All right, so doing it this way, I get 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16 ATCs, plus these little bits that got cut off, which I just go ahead and edge those since I'm edging. Even those little bits would make a cute little bookmark. There's not much to that one. I'm just gonna chuck those. There's nothing much to those. I know I can hear people screaming when I'm doing that. But if I saved every bit of paper that I have, or that I could save, ooh, would not be good. Oh, your husband, who, I don't know your name, dear. Lissib? But saying your husband can't believe I do it for free. Yep. That's the real killer, is you're doing it from your, just because you like to do it. Sitting here in my basement by myself, just having a little fun, just turn the camera on every once in a while. And so, like, nobody's holding a gun to your head if you don't want to watch. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so there we go. I don't know if I can lift this up enough. Let me try to zoom in. It's going to cut away part of the area. All right, let's see if I can pick this up and kind of let you see what they kind of look like. Oh, nope, I can't. Why did you even think that was possible? Here's a real pretty one, though. I like that. All right, there's a lot of them that are come out really cool. That one's pretty. Oops, this way. But you get some really, like, look how planetary that one looks with the die cuts that Joan said and the little circle underneath of it. Kind of looks like a Milky Way thing going on here. You know? So they come out pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these centered on my page and separate them a little bit. I don't want to separate them too much and lose a lot of that 3D paint that's going to drop down on the paper, but actually, you know what? I'm going to pull this back out again. There we go. Actually, I'm not going to put those. I'm going to throw these in the bin. I'm not going to put that 3D stuff on those. That will be too clunky. Okay. Now let me find my 3D stuff. Black and white. No, I have some gold and silver. I was hoping I had some copper, but I don't. But I'm going to get some because copper would have been great on these. Thanks, ladies. Yeah, there's a couple that are really cute. Now, see, this one's kind of bland, right? There's not, I mean, it's cute, but it's not a whole lot going on there. But after, you know, in this one, is kind of more wide open spaces on there. But once I sling this stuff, and this one's kind of dark. Oops, hello. But I'm going to take I really like these. I'm kind of debating on whether I want to do this or not. But I'm gonna. What the heck. So I got black and white. This is the Tulip Slick Paint. Why am I out of frame so bad? It's three-dimensional paint. Let me get you up there. And I'm going to try to just do some wild streaks across this to add another little layer of something, and get my computer and everything out of the way so it doesn't get splattered. What paint did you use to make the gold circles? Oh, that was that's actually copper, Ella, and it's golden fluid copper, the light fine. And guys, don't forget, I think it was Pam saying that Blix is having an additional 30% off their already 40% markdown of golden products. That sounds crazy, but that's where I'm going when I get off of here. So these, I try to like shake these down to get the paint down in the needle nose of this. And then I squeeze a little bit out to make sure I don't have any air bubbles, right? And now what I found is best to do is just to kind of hold it up higher and squeeze and just make one pass. And whatever happens, happens. You got to live with it. Let me see where I am. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, so here we go. So I start off the page so I don't get a blob where it first starts to squeeze on the edge of a card, right? So I'm just going to go one swoop here and there, and here we go. Woo! And then I kind of look to see where it looks like it could use a little bit more. Use golden fluid on purpose instead of other paint. Well, it's really highly pigmented, and you get a really nice sheen from it, Beth. And it would dry a little bit faster being thinner than a heavier body copper that I have. Collage, Daddy Vans, DB Art Tissue, or Deli. Well, it depends on which deli paper you have. I don't know how to say your name. I'm so sorry. Lyciana? Lyciana? If it's got any kind of wax on the deli paper, it's not going to become as transparent. It's going to resist the wax on the Daddy Vans wax. If you have that Dixie wrap paper that Jan told us about, that looks like this, you get it at Sam's Online. Right? It comes in 12 by 12 sheets. If you use this and Daddy Van both sides of it, it's almost crystal clear. Now see, this one didn't get anything but down this one little corner here. That's not acceptable. So I'm going to start over here. Let's see, where do I want to go? Hit those two. And now I'm just kind of eyeballing them to see if everybody's got a little something something going on. All right, I think that's good enough on the white. So the art tissue is definitely better than some of the delis, but if you use the right kind of deli, it's cheaper. I think it's easier to handle because they're 12 by 12 sheets that aren't folded, and it's a little stronger. The art tissue is stronger than you'd think as well, because I've jelly printed with the art tissue and the deli. But the art tissue, I thought, this isn't going to work. It's going to just, the plate's going to pull it apart. It didn't. It worked fine. It's stronger than you'd think. As thin and malleable as it is. It's pretty strong. Okay, so now, going in with black, I'm going to do the same thing. Get it started. Kind of make curved lines if I can. I think it just adds a little bit more interest. Oop, that one. Hear that little paint fart in there? It was all air coming out. It didn't splot until it got over here. I'm trying to get a little bit more on these. There we go. Keep shaking it down. And now I'm going to kind of look at each card and see what else I think it might need. It's kind of hard to tell from what you're saying because you see the streaks that are going between the cards as well. But I'll pick up a couple of them so you can see when I think they're done, what I'm talking about. You just kind of have to go for it. You know, what's the worst that can happen? You screw up one of 15 cards, who cares? Yeah, it is, Trina. The Dixie is like 13 bucks for 1,000 sheets. And free shipping from Sam's Online. And the art tissue, I forget what the price is, but they sell it in packs of like 15 or 20 sheets. And a couple packs, you'd be over $13 for sure. So you get many, many, many times more paper in the Dixie Deli. So let's see what we got here. Ah, that just blobbed. That didn't work. Bad move. So whoever gets that card, sorry. All right. Backing away from that. Now I'm going to try, oh my gosh, this is probably a mistake, but I'm going to move these onto a clean piece of paper and try to lift each one and show you. Nope, the matte medium or even the Yes paste that I used glues them down fine. It doesn't resist the glue. So here we go. All right, there's one. There's another one. Trying to get the, there you go. You see that copper flash in there. Last time I left it dry on this paper, it kind of stuck to the under paper. When I peeled it off, I had a lot of trimming to do, so I do want to move them away from that. Oops. Get it in the frame, girl. Get it in the frame. I really like how that blue paper and that purple blended there. Looks kind of foggy. Get off of there. Yeah, Beth, you should keep your watercolor brushes just for watercolor. And I have brushes that I only use for Daddy Van and that I only use for glue or matte medium or anything like that. And keep my acrylic brushes for just acrylic. That's that pretty turquoise Dina Wakley paint peeking through there. I love that color. Oops. This one's got a whole lot of stuff going on there. Pictographs, die cut, that puke in the page piece, and the copper, and so that's why, if anybody's just watching me do this the first time, you can see why I make it busier than if you were looking at one page composition. It was going to stay together. I'm liking the purple. The top of this is where I blended the purple and that turquoise color a little bit. It made a really pretty shade of that blend. And see, this one just got a little tiny edge of that circle and a little bottom of one of the pictographs and the little edge of the die cut that Joan sent, and then the big swatch of the white die cut. But even just with those little bits that come through on one card when you cut it, it gives it enough interest that it can stand alone. So if you look at each one of them like that and think about where each one of those little bits came from. Thanks, Ray. Now this has a big wad on the bottom of it. I'm going to wipe that off of there. I'll come back and hit that with the black pen. Had a little schmutz on there. All right. See, there's where I got that little blob. Looks like a mouse running over the moon down there. I do, Joan, love those circles and ovals in black and white. I would be more than happy to pay you to bring some for me in the summer, because I will definitely use those again. And there's the last one. Trina, I don't know if you were here. Now see all this extra stuff that's on here? That was only going to be a mess when I try to pull those apart later. So now I've avoided that heartache. I wanted to show you, Trina. I don't know if you were here when I first pulled these out, and to see the whole die cut before I cut these up. But look at those. I just have I used all the round ones. I had round and oval ones on here, and then she sent me some in black too. So I can show you the round one in this. See, the round one had little circles, like in orbit around the loops, and then the ovals have little hearts. But I love these. Oh yes, Beth, for sure. I use my jelly prints on Deli for collage all the time. Actually, I don't think I did on today, only because I didn't have any that my that the colors lined up with. Hey Jen, we were talking about you earlier, my dear. Turning me onto the Dixie wrap. And the mulberry papers. Yeah, I have, I save a lot of, you've probably heard me talk about doing what I call patina prints. And just these little this is Deli. I was with a patina print on Deli, and I still have some of that I will incorporate in a collage at some point, because that, even if I tear this in half and make a little tiny sliver through, well, that's not a sliver, but through one of these cards, it really pops it. Let me see if I have any in my stash I can show you. See, I'm running low on my cards here that I send out. Probably don't have any left. See all these little bits I have like this? Would you think these would be good for like to send out with my orders, just these little things? I'm still going through the pack of Deli Patty sent me last year. I know, I think it reproduces at night, Jean. I mean, do you think people would like to do something with these little bits? I have so many of them from all the different collages. I just throw them in here because I hate to throw them out, but I don't know if anybody would really want to mess with those or not. Well, I guess I don't have any pieces of that are left that have a jelly print on them. But I do. Oh yeah, there's one. That's actually a wrong size when I was a rookie cutting them out. That was a patina print in there. But I have a lot of these little bits in here. But anyway, so I didn't have one to show you. Actually, that's a little piece, that little slice right through here. That's a patina print on deli paper. And you can use any prints, any jelly print. Doesn't have to be a patina print. I like the patina print because it's metallic and it'll flash a little bit in the light as you move it. Let me see if I can find something else to show you that I would use. Like here's another patina print that's a jelly print on deli paper, right? And I would tear off bits of this and use in when I'm doing one that's the right color family for it, right? So, you know, I save a bunch of them to do all that stuff with. Here's another one that's the same kind of color family in the pictographs. And it'll also give you like a little pop of black in there too, bring in the darks. To give you some contrast, but oh yes, I love the deli prints for collage. Oh, and you know what? Here I have a bunch of them down here. Hang on. Here we go. I have them in my little metallic drawer. Here's one I did on a round jelly plate, and then I embossed some gold pictographs, stamped over it, embossed them in gold. Oh shoot, I'm laying this right on my wet stuff. Hello. Lordy. And then here's one that's got a whole lot of shimmer in it. That, you know, little strips of this will bring in some black, and that little pop that'll bring these out. Yeah, I'll do some patina prints next time if we have time. But I do have, if you check YouTube, I do have videos out there showing you how to do the patina prints. I think one of them is actually says patina print in the title. I have them set aside for you, Joan. This was a deli print that I did through one of my stencils. It looks so much like patinaed metal. I've been cutting those out and putting those in a couple collages. I think I put them on a journal page too, if I remember correctly. And here I printed some copper stripes on, this is just wrapping paper tissue, but it was black and white stripes, and I printed the gold or copper stripe stencil on there. But that looks really cool when you incorporate that into a collage too. And this brand of tissue just happens to, the white, when you put matte medium on it, it goes completely clear. You don't have to daddy man it. It just goes clear. And I mean, here's some other stuff that I use in collage. Oh, I wish I'd have found, oh no, they're not copper. But here's some pictographs on deli that I embossed. I used the VersaFine ink, stamped the pictograph rubber stamp, and then embossed them in gold, and then daddy vanned it. This needs another, actually, did I daddy van this? No, it's not clear enough yet. I didn't daddy van this. And then that looks really cool when you see those little bits of those shapes in the metallics popped in through these. Oh, you did see the patina print one? Yeah, Jean, those arrows, I wish I could figure out what I did to get the color. It was just a cleanup print, I think. But they look so much like copper when it patinas. I don't know if it's coming through on camera. But I love the way those came out. They were really nice. But I have also jelly printed right on, let me grab some of these. Right on, this is art tissue. And I picked that up through my Morse code stencil. And see how thin and lightweight this stuff is? But it pulled a print. Right? And this is just, I printed on black tissue through some of the stencils. That adds a really cool pop too. And this is when I was this is on art tissue. And this is mixing the copper and the silver metallic golden paints, and it comes out like a rose gold. They came out pretty cool. But here's another. That's a jelly print on one of my stencils. Right? And this one. Different colors of metallics. Remember the day I went crazy with metallics and I pulled all jelly prints that were all metallics? Yes. And this was through the surfboard stencil on black. And I'm saving these two for a real big impact somewhere. And I'm going to try to duplicate it again. But I can't get this black tissue. They didn't have it anymore. I got it at Michael's in a black and white mixed package of tissues that had swirls and stripes and polka dots. And it has this slick, almost navy blue black. It reminds me of a dark Payne's gray on the back. It's a different it's a different texture on the back than it is on the front. But this, when I collage this down, these silver bits down here came out like real fine bits of teal in it. For no reason. Thank you. Sweet Lord. I'm telling you, I'm a disaster waiting to happen. Let me get some of these out of my way. Get out of my own way. Thank you, thank you. Somebody's got to look out for me. I'm a danger to myself. I'm telling you. But those were, they were fun to do. And I really liked, I don't know if I don't have anything printed on this polka dot stuff. I've used it all. Well, there's a little bit. I used just about all of it. But I used my stripe stencil, and I pulled a jelly print of copper and silver mixed together to make a rose gold stripes that I laid over the polka dots. Most of you guys probably remember when I did that. That was a favorite look too. So I am on my I got my eyeballs out for, here's a piece of it that I have still. But when you put this down in a collage, that white goes away. So all you have is copper stripes over black polka dots. And it looks really cool. But I got the old eyeballs peeled for more of that. And here's what the copper looked like on a full pull. I was using my round stencil that time. Right? But those add really interesting little bits and pops of color to your print, your collages rather. I'm trying to find something else. Lord, I must have been I was on quite a tear with this metallic stuff, let me tell you. I got a whole drawer full of metallics. So this, we tried, this was interesting. Shannon Green was on the stream one day and we were just playing with Daddy Vans. How well does the black copy paper collage? Well, that was, this bit across the top, that's that black copy paper. And that it collaged just fine. It's thin bond paper, right? And it collaged just fine, Trina. So Shannon said, I wonder if you can emboss with Daddy Vans. So I took one of my stencils and I laid it down and I put Daddy Vans through the stencil, right? And then put embossing powder on it and then heated it. And that's what I got. It absolutely does work to emboss. And I did the poppy stamp up here. But that was pretty wild. This was just a art tissue jelly print to get that rose gold kind of effect. And then here I did it through my diamonds and the rough stencil. You can see the colors where I kind of blended the silver and copper to get that rosy gold. And this was just a little overlapping. I printed that multiple times. This is what a full sheet of art tissue looks like from Dick Blick. I think it's 12 by 18. And I think you get 15 or 20 of these for, it's under $10, but it's still way cheaper. Hang on, Patty, Will and the other ladies be doing the Maryland Art Weekend every year? Well, I'm the one that puts it on. So we'll see how it goes again this year. If it's still successful and fun and everybody likes it, I'll probably do it again next year, but it's a lot of work to pull that off. And I don't, I work full time, and it's really more of a labor of love than anything, because I really want to get together with these broads. But it's a lot of work, and so we'll see how it goes. And I don't know if it'll become an every other year thing, or if we can try to pull it off every year. We'll have to see. But we have a couple spaces open if anybody's interested. We'd love to have you join us. This year, we're going to gather on the 27th of July, which is a Wednesday, and we will, people are coming in at different times. Some of them are going to come in on Tuesday, and the ones that get in time on Tuesday, the Queen's Ink, which is our local mixed media stamping, scrapbooking store extraordinaire, they are going to do a special gathering for us to go over and shop and do projects and maybe take a mini class. We're not sure what we're going to do, but we're going to do something to have somewhere for the ladies that are getting in early because of their travel time to do on that Tuesday afternoon, evening. Then we gather on Wednesday around noon in the art room as people start to trickle in, and don't have anything formally planned for Wednesday evening, just to get together. We're hoping that Jane will be there to demo her paper marbling, and Zandra was going to do a little mini class on her tear bear technique, and I think there might be something else. Oh, great, Jan. Great. I'm glad you're going to be here Tuesday. You can go with us. And Thursday, I'm going to teach a polymer clay class, and we're going to do a project. And then Friday, Paula will teach, and she's going to do a journaling project and making a journal from different, I think from cardboard, and using different techniques and probably some jelly printing in that. And then Saturday, we usually have a free day, which usually turns into a shopping spree. But everybody just kind of partners up with those who have cars and go off and hit the Hobby Lobby. And we have a Dick Blick down to, actually ours is still called Utrecht, but it's Dick Blick down in Baltimore City. And there's Plaza Art right around the corner from that. And then just a mile or so from there, there's something called American Crafts or something like that. Really cool store. I didn't even know it existed until last year. And then we wrap up at midnight on Sunday. So the cool part is we have, here's Lilith is mentioning that she's still waiting on people if they want to send in their hand tracings or scans to her if they haven't already done it. She was trying to do a project. I haven't even done mine, Lilith. I'm sorry about that. And oh, great, Tam, you're coming in early. Good deal. So we have 24-hour access to the art room. And we're in a different art room this year. We're actually in the hotel tower on the 8th floor. And there are, I think, 8 or 10 rooms on the 8th floor, sleeping rooms. So we're literally right outside. Most of us will be right outside the art room. The people who haven't booked yet or didn't request the 8th floor, people that have some issues, mobility issues, I've blocked a room for you on the 8th floor, and you already know who you are, so that it's just more accessible and easier for you to get in and out. And we have all the meals are provided. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner are provided. We all eat together down in the restaurant in the bottom level of the other hotel tower, which is close. And we also get provided an AM break and a PM break, which are snacks and beverages and fruit, savory and sweet things. They vary it up every day. That'll be brought into our art room and set up for us there. And so the cost is, we were able to keep it the same this year as last year. So what's confusing to a lot of people is that it's the sleeping rooms and the art room are two different costs. And the sleeping rooms, each person calls and books their own room. That's all on you. That's all on the person coming. We've paired up people that want to share a room to save some money. Other people want their own room. But it's on those people to book and pay for your hotel rooms. And the hotel rooms for a double, I think is like with tax, I think it's around $199. So it would be $100 per person per night. If you want a single room, I think it's $139, and with tax, I think it's around $157 per night. And then everybody is responsible for booking their own hotel room, and that's on you guys. I can't chase that. But what I take care of booking is the art room, and the cost for the art room is $380 for Wednesday to midnight Saturday. And what those prices include for the sleeping rooms, that includes your breakfast and dinner every day. That's included in that $100 a night. That includes those two meals. The art room, that $380, that includes your lunch and the AM and the PM break every day, in addition to your art space and all that they provide. We're going to have AV this year to try to project what we're doing up on screen so people don't have to get up and down. We have, they put stuff down on the carpet, they cover the tables, they bring in buckets of water, they do a lot of extra stuff to facilitate what we're doing that's included in that $380. So basically, if you came in Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that's 4 nights. Your hotel, if you're a double, would be about $400, and your art room would be $380. So call it $800, and that covers all your food, all your meals and drinks every day. So it's pretty economical deal actually compared to art retreats that I've been on. I don't like to call it a retreat because retreats that I've been to offer you a menu of classes that you can choose from. It's a big deal. They have all these different instructors coming in. And we don't have that. This is just a gathering of you guys that follow Paula and I on our streams and have become like virtual friends online. And last year, wouldn't it be cool to get these ladies together and just have a weekend of play and see what happens? So that's what we did last year for the first time, and it went over really well, and everybody asked to do it again, so we're doing it again. So yeah, when you take into consideration that it includes 3 meals, and when I'm telling you meals, I don't mean it's a little, you get a little something to eat. I mean, there's no way you will ever go hungry at this place. The buffets they put out are for their normal clientele, which is their sailors, merchant marines, military, police officers that go there for different sorts of specialty training for navigation and different things. It's a maritime institute. And they have a hearty buffet, and they'll customize things if you have an allergy. Like Jean had an allergy to mushrooms, and they would, customize her portions so she was okay with that. And I mean, it's a spread. It is a big spread, and you can't possibly go hungry there. So when you consider that, I mean, if you're traveling and you're eating 3 meals out and snacks, that really adds up. Especially if you get any kind of decent food or decent portions, that really adds up. So it's not a bad deal. Yeah, Gene, I remember you talking about you guys did a gathering like that in Austin. Yeah, if you guys want, that sounds good to do another one in Austin, but somebody else is going to have to take it other than me doing all that stuff. This one I do this one because it's 10 minutes from here, from my house. So it's easy for me to go there, do a site visit, work with the people, and then getting all the stuff there. Like I have 4 toaster ovens and all the supplies, and my husband will help me drag everything in there the first day and get set up. But you know, it's convenient for me to be able to do that from here. But I know some of you guys in Canada were talking about doing one in Canada, and I think Linda White Holloway was looking into doing that. But yeah, I can't take on doing another one somewhere else. That would be too difficult. Oh yeah, we'd love to have you, Heidi. We'd love to have you come from Denmark. Joan is coming over from the UK this year. Minky 5, she's joining us. We have a lot of repeats from last year coming again, and we have some new ones, so that'll be a fun mix. And yeah, so everybody that is signed up, if you haven't already paid me your final 280, and I'm saying 280 because I do an initial deposit that everybody's got to put up $100 non-refundable, because I have to sign contracts with the place that are in my name, and I'm responsible for that booking. So if something happens and it all falls apart and we don't show up, that's on me. So I got to have $100 from everybody up front that was going to go, to be able to sign that contract comfortably, knowing I had that money on the side if, you know, something happened and we had to cancel. God knows why that would happen, but just as a backup. I don't have the money, the means to be able to afford, like, yeah, well, I'll pay that couple $1,000, don't worry about it. So I collect $100 from everybody up front, and then the balance of 280, and this is just for the art room, the balance of 280 is due by July 1st. And a lot of people have already paid me that, and I just put that in a separate account and let that money sit there. But as time progresses, if we cancel, it's more and more of a chunk that I'm responsible for paying as we get closer to the go date. So, yeah, it's you know, it's tricky that I got to manage all the money that's coming in and who paid and who didn't, and, you know, what I have to pay to the hotel when, and all that kind of stuff. You fly into BWI, and if you fly into Baltimore Washington International, the hotel is like 5 minutes away, and they have a shuttle that's free. They'll come and get you and take you back. Yep, and a lot of the ladies are flying, and yeah, Zonder streamed some last year, and we're going to try to stream a little bit. It's difficult. If you've ever run a stream, you'll understand what goes into it and why it's difficult in that kind of a setting. If we do it during a class time, I feel that's not fair to the people that actually paid to go there, to have it broadcast for free to everybody. On top of that, just it's just difficult to do, because when we were teaching last year, Paul and I were up and down and running back and forth. Not much went on right at our desk where the camera would be. So the stream would be a lot of background noise, and you watching something like this that's static for 20, 30 minutes at a clip. So it makes it difficult to do. Now, we streamed last year after hours when we were just all hanging out doing whatever we wanted to do. And then Zandra streamed, and I think Carrie did, or Paula did. And that was, you know, that was easy to do because we were just kind of ad-libbing it, and people they were carrying their laptop around to other people and showing you what was going on. Yeah, so, here, let me type in my email address. There you go. You can contact me at that email address if you're interested in going. And I lost track of how many spots we got left, to tell you the truth. I think we have 2. I think there's 2 left. So if there's more than 2 people out there that are interested, the first 2 that contact me and send me in their $100 will be the first 2 that get those slots. And that's the way I've always had to do it, just to be fair, because we have a limited space. So somebody I think asked earlier if the door would be locked. They gave us a key last year, and we were in charge of that room, and we would just leave our stuff there and lock it up when and if people wanted to stay up later than other people, then we passed the key and made somebody else responsible for the lockup that decided they were going to be the last man down. So it's nice because you go there and you set up on Wednesday and you pack it up by midnight on Saturday. You don't have to drag it up, and you have a generous table area to use, and it's pretty comfortable the way we have them set it up. Now, next year, the price is probably going to go up if we do it again next year, because they wanted to get our new business. So the last 2 years, and I had to really negotiate with them this year, to not charge us for the AV, and to not charge us for the table coverings, and not charge us for the floor coverings they have to put down. That's a big expense that they go through. It's hundreds of dollars to do that sticky plastic they put on the whole carpeted area, so that all of our paints and stuff, if we spill anything, they don't mess up their paints, or their carpet rather. And so I had to negotiate and get some of that and say, well, we can give it to you again this year, but if we do it next year, we're not going to be able to do that. So the price will go up next year. I don't know how much, but when you break it down by 30 some people, it won't, it won't be that much of an impact to each person. But we're just looking at this stamp. I got some of my black tulip paint across this bottom pictograph. Oh, that's a dangerous process there. So anyway, did you get my balance, Patty? Janice, right? I did just get that recently. Yeah, it was really generous, and it's a different kind of a facility. If you go to a hotel, and you guys were probably at a hotel in Austin, and I don't know if you know the back end of how it was put together or not, but most hotels, when you use a hotel for a function like this, the pricing structure is different, and they'll give you, a rate for your art room, but your meals, usually the food and beverage is done, and you have to pick out a menu, and then that is set out inside or outside your room, and you have a minimum that you have to meet for buying their food and beverage every day, which is pretty expensive. We do this all the time at work. And so the fact that the way they structure it here, and include all those meals and a huge variety of stuff. It's not just one choice. It's not like, okay, tonight's roast beef. It's roast beef, and it's chicken, and it's some kind of seafood, and then there's a burger stand and a pizza stand over on the side. It serves burgers and fries and hot dogs and pizza, and then they got an ice cream stand. They have a huge dessert area and a gigantic salad bar and several soups a day. It's a huge amount of food, and so it really is a good deal when you break it down and you've worked with other venues to see how the structure works. So anyway, that's my spiel. All right, you guys have heard me rattling off here long enough, I believe. Anybody got any other questions or anything? See you, Trina. Thanks for joining, hon. Yeah, it really is, Jean. It really is a good deal. All right, I'm going to duck out of here a couple minutes early and go get this cleaned off and go meet up with my mom and take her out to dinner somewhere. Spend a little time with her for Mother's Day. Thanks, you guys, for joining me. Sorry I haven't been around, but it's been a little cray-cray with scheduling here. And hopefully I'll get back on a more regular keel one day soon. Oh, thanks, Rain. Thank you. Yep, thanks, Beth. All right, guys. Been a fun afternoon. Take care. See ya.